Hello everyone, Fox here, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today, I wanted to do something a little bit different than what we normally do. So today, I've given myself the challenge of creating a dungeon and filling it with a bunch of redstone contraptions, traps, and then of course having an item at the end that we need to grab in order to complete our quest. Now, I'll be building it into the mountainside right behind me here. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Every dungeon needs an entrance. So what I decided to do is create a 3x2 piston door to be the entrance for our dungeon. So to do that, let's come on inside. I gave myself plenty of space just so we can see everything. And what we want to do is place 3 sticky pistons facing up like this, 3 sticky pistons facing down. Now for the door, it's not going to be anything too fancy, just some stone blocks right here with some chiseled stone bricks in the center, just to give it a little design. That looks good to me. Now let's go ahead and start wiring this up. So we just want to come over like this, come a block up. Now we want to grab our handy dandy glass block and start building a little tower coming up like this. One more right there. And then let's grab some more blocks, place them there. And now let's wire this thing up so we can run redstone across our pistons here. And then come down our little glass tower and then run it all the way across here. So there we go, that is all set. Let's give it a quick test. So we flip our lever, the door closes, looks good. Open it back up. Now what we need to do is be able to open this from the outside. So I want this dungeon to be pretty inviting, only because there's going to be danger inside. So I'm going to place a block right there, grab a repeater, run it into this block here. Break these 2 blocks out. Let's put one more block right here with some redstone dust on top. Now we can come around to the outside and give it a test. There we go. That looks good. Now obviously we need to give this door a frame. But other than that, the redstone looks good. Now what we need to do is build a frame, so nothing too crazy. We're just going to use some stone bricks and make this look a little bit better. So just like this, possibly like that, and just come around like this, stack this up, and then we can put our lever back right there. So it's going to look just like this when we come in, and then of course we probably need something on the bottom here. So let's go ahead and make this all be in theme with one another. So there we go, there's the entrance. We come in. And now we just need ourselves a walkway. So we're going to go throw some more stone bricks in like this. And I will go back and mix it up, throw some cracked stone bricks in there and everything like that. But I just want to get the general idea of what this room is going to look like. All of our redstone is going to be covered up. So let's go ahead, finish this wall here. And then we'll just need to do the ceiling. So just like this. And actually, let's keep this a 2-high ceiling. We're going to make this entrance a little small, but then it'll open up into a bigger room. So yeah, that looks good to me. So we close it, and then we come into our dungeon. Here's our entrance. There we go. I've done a little bit of decorating, and now that we made our way into the dungeon, it's time for us to run into our first room. So I was thinking, and I thought that the appropriate first room for this dungeon should be a catacomb. And in this catacomb, we're going to have a hidden switch that's going to open a door at the far end. And because this is a dungeon, I thought this was a great place to throw in our first set of mobs. So I'm thinking a couple of skeletons, maybe a couple of zombies, we'll see. Nothing too crazy, but we will have a couple of mobs in here because it's a dungeon and it's a catacomb. So if we make our way down the staircase here, you can tell this place has been here for a while, it's crumbling apart. We come into the dungeon, there should be a little bit of water dripping down from the ceiling here, maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't. There we go. That's dripping onto our floor, and this is all moldy because of that. And on this side, you can see where bodies have been laid to rest. Water's dripping down. We have some skulls here just to decorate it. And then on this side is where I want to place the hidden switch. Now, I haven't decorated this side yet because I want to do all the redstone first. So let's go ahead and get things started. For the hidden switch, what we want to do is create a T flip-flop. That's going to open the door on the far end. So I want to place the switch right here. We'll hide that later. We'll also decorate this later. I just want to get all the redstone laid in. Now let's come back here. We want to knock these 2 blocks out and place a dropper facing up. And let's go ahead and throw an item inside right now. A dropper facing forward. Grab our hopper. Run our hopper into our bottom dropper like that. Grab a comparator. Run that out from the top dropper like this. Into a repeater. And then we can start setting up our blocks for our door. So we want to come up like that. 2 sticky pistons right here. We'll use this for our door block. And then we can line this up with redstone. And then we just need one more on top of the dropper. And there we go. That is everything all set up. So let's press the button. So the door will be closed when we come in. And then when we want to open it, We press it again, it'll open right up. Now to hide it, let's go ahead. I'm thinking we can use some brown banners just like this, throw on either side. Also gives the room a little bit of decoration. So we have all the mobs in here, we fight them off, and then we still need to figure out how to get into the next room. So it's closed, and then when we finally figure it out, we figure out, oh hey, there's a switch here, press it, and then we can move on to the next room. Now that I've finished the redstone for the hidden door, I went ahead and finished decorating, and this is what I came up with. So I switched out the orange banners for dark gray ones. I thought that fit the mood a little bit better. And you can tell I decorated this side just like I did to this side. Threw in a couple of cobwebs, couple grass patches where the water's dripping down, and I think that looks good. So with a hidden switch opening this door, we can come into our next room. And then here we have two 5x5 rooms separated by these blocks here. And what I'm thinking is that we're going to do an archway just to kind of decorate this place. This is going to be a fairly clear area. It's going to be more decorating than anything, kind of a breathing area for the player to go through. Because if we come down to this hallway here, we have another set of 5x5 rooms. There are 3 of them. These 2 right here are going to be our next trap. So we'll go ahead and set that up in a little bit. But before we do that, what I'm thinking is we made it this far into the dungeon and they don't want us to get out. So once we come through here, we're going to have a pressure plate that's going to shut this door behind us and seal it. So let's go ahead and wire that up. This part is going to be very easy. All we need to do is run a line down to our T flip-flop on the other side. I've already dug it out. So we can go ahead and start laying things down. So what we want to do is grab ourselves a pressure plate, put it right there, right at the entrance of the door. And then just so we can see all the redstone, I'm going to start lining all this up like this. We want to come up like that, bring this all the way around. And then we want to come 2 blocks up right here, a block right there. And let's go ahead and start wiring this thing up. So we have our redstone right under our pressure plate. We're going to line it up like this. Run this all the way around. And then we need to block this off. You can see that it is connecting. So we'll fix that in a second. Repeater right there. Redstone dust. Repeater running into this block, which is then going to power this redstone, which is then going to reach our T flip-flop. So let's go ahead. Let's cut these lines off right here like that, placing blocks above them. And we also want the redstone line to break behind us because as of right now, we can still open and close this door. And if we step on it again, we don't want that. So what we want to do is actually, let's knock this out right here and then place that right there. Redstone dust. We want to throw a piston right there with a block right there. So that way now when we step on it, this is going to be activated right here by this redstone and breaking our redstone line. So let's go ahead and step on it again. The door seals behind us. This redstone line is broken, so it can no longer send power to the T flip-flop. So if we step on it again, nothing's going to happen. So we are officially stuck in this room. This room is now all decorated along with our pressure plate right here. So this room is pretty bright. I just wanted you guys to be able to see it. This wall is falling apart right here in the corner. And it looks like we just need to switch this out real quick. Get rid of that. And then probably throw cobblestone right there. And then let's go ahead, let's knock out some lights, just so we can make this a little more dim and more, have that dungeon feel to it. So it'll look a little something like this, and hopefully you all can see that. I think that looks really good. Maybe even if I took this torch out. Oh yeah, I think that looks good. And then we have this area right here, and let me show you what we're gonna do. So the idea is to have a walkway, a safe walkway. So let me go ahead and grab some slabs right here. We are going to need the pressure plate once again. So just an example, let's say this is the safe path I want to walk right here and go across like this. And then in these areas, what I'm going to do is have dispensers facing up, just like this. And then I'm going to cover all of these. Actually, let's go ahead. I have flame charges, so we're going to use, let's see. Let's put 16 in each one. 16 there. And then we want 16 here. And also 16 here. Now, what we're going to do is line all the floor up with pressure plates, just like this. Now, I know it is a little obvious, so I'm thinking we do need to keep this room dark. So obviously, this is the safe path for us to take. But as soon as we, step on the wrong one, you can see that activates our little fire trap, and of course, you're going to get burned. So let's go ahead and finish up this room and see what we come up with. And now this room is finished as well. Now I went ahead, I swapped out the slabs for some black glass only because I felt like it blended in better with the edges of the dispensers. So you can see it's still dark, you can maybe kind of see where the glass is, but if we do knock these lights out, I think this would actually make this room a little bit challenging. Just using the slabs was just too easy. It was almost a joke having this room using slabs. It was totally obvious where the dispensers were. But yeah, look at that. You can, yeah, you would really have to look hard to see where the right path is. Now that room is finished, we move along. We have this little area right here, just some breathing room. This is falling apart. This pillar fell down. We got some rubble right here, and then we get into this part of the room. This is going to be our final room ahead. Now, in order to get to this room, I am going to add a puzzle, because what is a dungeon without a puzzle? So this is where we're going to have it, and for this puzzle, I think we're going to use a very unused feature of the Bedrock Edition. So let's go ahead and build this puzzle. For those of you who may not know this, in Bedrock Edition, we can actually push and pull furnaces, hoppers, droppers, dispensers with pistons. So we are going to use that feature. That is not something that we can do on console or Java Edition. So we're going to use that to our advantage. This is what makes this pretty unique in my opinion. So what we're going to do is create a furnace. I guess sort of like the rotating storage system. You'll see what I'm going to do here in a second. But we're going to follow that pattern. If you haven't seen my rotating storage system, we're going to use just a slightly different version of that. So that's going to push there. That's going to detect that. That's going to push up. And then this is going to detect right there. And then that's going to detect that. And then I think we need block here. And then next we need a piston. Yeah, this is looking right. And then piston or observer facing up. That's going to read that. And that's going to read that. So that is a very simple rotating storage system circuit, or just a piston feed tape is what it's actually called. So let's go ahead and let's test this out. So what I want to do is just throw a button right here, and then we're going to have blocks. We have to place these in the right spot. So I think here, 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 here. So if we go ahead and press this, yeah, you can see that rotating. Let me break up the colors here just so you can see it move once again. So there we go. We have a working feed tape. Now what we're going to do is replace those magenta blocks with furnaces, and each furnace is going to have a different amount of items. That way they let off a different redstone output. And what we're going to do is create 2 of these, and we're going to create ourselves a combination lock. So let me go ahead, fill that in, and then we'll continue on. Both piston feed tapes are now installed, and I've also swapped out the blocks for furnaces. And like I mentioned, each one is going to have its own amount of items, because we have 5 different signal strengths that this can put off. So each one is going to let off 1 respectively. So like the 55 is going to be a 5. Let me go ahead and quickly show you what I mean. So if we throw a comparator out like this, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get some redstone dust and throw that right on top. So you can see, because there is 55 in here, that's going to let off a strength of 5. So all these torches shut off. Now the next one in line is only 1, so that'll only let off 1 strength. So if we press the button, it rotates. You can see that turns on. We press it again, we'll get 2. And then you kind of get the idea. The next one's going to be 3. The next one's going to be 4. And then we come back around again to the 55, giving us 5 signal strength. For the combination lock, we're not going to do anything too crazy. I'm actually going to keep this at 55, because obviously 5 is the max strength that we can get, and that's going to run into this block, which is going to be powered. And for this door, we're going to create an AND gate. So that means both of these lines need to be activated in order for this door to open. Now to do that, what we're going to do, we also have this set to 55. I'm going to set this to 14, so this should be 1. The next one should be 14. That's what we want. Now, if you're wondering, the next one would be 28. That would give us 3 signal strength. And then 42 would give us 4. And then you see 55 would give us the 5. Now what we're going to do for this one is something a little bit different. We're actually going to still work with the 55 here. And we're going to grab a block, place it like that, another block here. Now let's go ahead and grab our comparators. We're going to do some comparing for this build. Now we want to run a comparator out from that. That's detecting the 55, so 5 signal strength coming out. But we want to also run this comparator into that comparator, set that to subtract mode, and then place a hopper down. Now what we're going to do is throw in a non-stackable item. And for those of you who don't know, a non-stackable item will let off 3 signal strength. So when it is being compared, we have 5 to the 3, so that will only let off 2. So let's go ahead, let me show you. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can see in subtract mode, it is comparing. That's what we want, the 2 signal strength. But as soon as I turn that off, it gives us all 5. So that's how that's going to work. So we leave that set to 2. And then let's go ahead and wire the rest of this thing up. So like I mentioned, this is going to let off a maximum of 2 signal strength due to this comparator right here. And then what we want to do, we can run this into a block. Our end goal is to get right here to this block. So we can go ahead and throw a redstone torch right there. This is going to be our AND gate. And then we can go ahead and build our way back. So let's go ahead, come 2 blocks like this. Want to come another 2 blocks down like that. And then we just want to connect these. So come around like this. And then get redstone dust and then start lining this thing up. Like that. Does that reach? So that actually reaches. Perfect. So we don't need another repeater. That's perfect actually, because I think that's probably 15 right there. Now, this one is set. I was playing around with it. So we need to get this back to 55. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and show you how this is going to work. So with this AND gate, we're going to go ahead and throw this here like this. Put our sticky pistons down with our door block right here. So like I said, I want the combination to be 55-14. Now, this one is correct. We have the 14, so this one is shut off. This is not 55, so this one is not shut off. Therefore, our door is closed. Now, what we have to do is rotate these all the way around. So we got our 28. And then we're going to have our 42. Still nothing. And then once we get our 55, you can see this powers the block, shutting off the redstone torch here. And then this allows us to be retracted, revealing our door that goes into the next room. All right, everyone, we have made it to the final room of this dungeon. So we've made our way into the dungeon. We made it through the catacomb, found that hidden switch. We have successfully and hopefully safely made it through the fire trap hallway. We also solved the puzzle right here. And now all we see is this little area, which we're going to have a chest right here. So, of course, you know, this is probably like the boss dungeon. It's going to be a little sketchy, especially since that's the only thing that you see. Now, the plan that I have for this is we can't necessarily have a boss. The only thing I could think of is probably throwing a wither skeleton in here. But I'm thinking they really don't want us to have this loot. So it's going to be rigged with a trap. Obviously, we're using a trap chest here. So what I'm thinking is if we dig this area out, we are going to have some dispensers with some splash potions of poison in them. You know, just to kind of kill us off if they can. A last-ditch effort. And this is where I wanted to place it. You can see I have a banner here. I was kind of testing it out already. Obviously, that's going to be pretty obvious. So what I was thinking is we can have another dispenser facing up, right under the chest. And now all we have to do is start wiring all of this up. So if we can dig in right here, just like this area, and then right here we're going to do blocks like this, redstone torch, that's going to be shut off. And then we're going to run this line all the way back here, like this. So we need some redstone dust, we need a repeater right there. We can run that into a block, and then throw some redstone dust down just like this. So that should be set up. Now let's go ahead and throw our trap chest, over it, right there. And we want some splash potions. So what is this? That is not a splash potion, so let's go ahead and replace that with a splash potion of poison. So we're going to test each one. And then let's go ahead and place a splash potion in here. So we come and open the chest. We are poisoned. And then, you know, if the player tries to be a little smarty pants and they want to try to open the chest over here, I'm thinking we can rig up some things over here as well. So let me go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you what I've come up with. This is what I came up with. Obviously, we have this here. We set up that with some splash potions. And what I decided to do, if the player ever tried to open the chest from this side, I set this up over here. So basically, the whole room is going to be covered by splash potions of poison. So if we try to come over here, let's see, standing, can we still reach the chest? Yep. So let's try to, yep, that still hits us. So basically every point in this room is going to be covered by a splash potion. So this room is all set. All we would need to do is throw in some mobs. I think it's all good to go. And then we just decorate it and then move on. Before I finish decorating this room, I had a thought, and that thought was, every dungeon needs to have a proper dungeon exit. So what I mean by that is that after we finish off the boss and grab the loot, we normally have a convenient way of getting back to the beginning of the dungeon without having to run back through the dungeon itself. So what I've come up with is a staircase that's going to come up right here to this little hallway, and then through this hole right here, we're going to have a flush with the wall piston door, and then you can see this takes us right back to the beginning of the dungeon. So let's go ahead and wire this thing up. Now, I've tried different ways. The only thing I can think of is doing it this way. And when I say that, I mean, there's no good way to hide the redstone from the inside. So this is probably the only place where redstone is really going to be exposed. So we have that set up. We need more sticky pistons right here. So we have 4 sticky pistons facing forward, 2 facing that way. And then let's say this is going to be our door. Now I want the switch to be right here. I think it's a good place. And then let's see, lever, and then I'm going to work backwards here. So I want to put 2 blocks like this, redstone dust, and then this needs to come over the top. So we want to do redstone dust here with a glass block like that. This is going to have a repeater on top. Set that to 4 ticks. Okay, that runs all the way down. This is going to power those. Redstone dust here. And then we do a little glass tower on this side. So I want some glass right here. And then we want to come a block over like that. And I thought I gave myself more space. I'm bumping into all the walls here. So let's go ahead and line this all up with redstone dust. And I'll clean this up a little bit later. I just want to make sure this works. So let's go ahead and try it. So we get our extension. Everything looks good. Let's break through the wall here. So here's our door. It's flush with the wall. And then when we flip our switch, so we're coming through, we want to exit the dungeon. Flip our lever. There we go. Our hidden entrance right there is revealed. And then we can walk right out and out of the dungeon. So that works perfectly. And I think that makes, yeah, that is a proper dungeon exit, if I do say so myself. Now that the redstone contraptions are all done, let's go ahead, decorate this thing, and then we'll do a final run through of the dungeon in its entirety. Alright everyone, let's go ahead and give this dungeon a test run. We have our armor on, we got a sword, a couple stakes, I placed the mobs in, and I've also dimmed the lights inside to give it that dungeon feel. So let's go ahead and run this. So we're going to open our door, and immediately we have some skeletons waiting to come and get us. So let's go ahead and take care of them. And oh man, they are charging, so was not expecting that. Okay, we have successfully cleared out the first room. Now I'm going to kind of speed through this just because we're a little short on time. And oh look, what is this? A book, so let's go ahead and grab it. And a dungeon riddle, so let's go ahead and read it. It says, where 2 furnace lay, 5514 will show the way. So that is a little cheesy, but I figured I'd give a little hint as to what the passcode would be for a combination lock in the future. Now, as a quest player or someone coming to the dungeon, you don't know what that's for yet. So we're trying to figure out what's going on in this room. And then we have a hidden switch that we discover. So let's go ahead and press that. That opens a door and we make our way through. And then our door closes behind us. We want to try to get back out. We can't. We are stuck in here. So we have no choice but to move on and complete this dungeon. So you can see everything is dimly lit in here. Just use a couple redstone torches just to set the atmosphere. And right here we have a skull. So that means someone died here and we need to know why. So if we take a step, and yeah, so there's definitely something going on here. We have some fire traps that we set up. Now let me go ahead and try to remember what the correct path was. So, nope, okay. Let's stand here. This seems to be safe. I seem to be in between two plates. And I think right here. Right here. Okay. Getting a little close there. And... okay. Yep, that's it. That's it. And we made it through. So we made it through the fire trap there. And let's go ahead and move on. So we come to our combination lock here. We know 5514 shows the way. So we need to set this. I believe this is going to take 4 rotations. And that is a lot of light shining through there, isn't it? So let's go ahead and set this to 55. One more. And then, of course, there's going to be nothing going on there. That door's still shut. And then we need about 3 rotations on this one. And one more should do it. And then we should see this door open up. And then we can go into the final room where our boss fight is going to be. So I did throw a wither skeleton in here. And a couple skeletons. So let's see where there's our wither skeleton. And I didn't think this through, but I guess he's going to be pretty easy to fight. We just stand here, and he seemed to have got us anyways. Now, where are those skeletons? Saw one up the stairs. Okay. Let's take these guys out. Clear this room out. And, ooh, he has armor. Okay. We have defeated the boss. We've done everything in here. Now it's time for us to grab the loot. Now, I know a safe place to stand in order not to get hit, but because I am showcasing this now, all the work that we did, we're going to let this hit us. So let's go ahead and open the chest here. We want the item that we've come in here for, and let's go ahead. Look at that, we got poisoned. We need to grab it. Alright, we are poisoned, so let's go ahead and quickly eat. I think this will kill us. And let's hope for the best here. That's cutting it pretty close. Let's go ahead and get out of this dungeon. So we flip this lever. That reveals our entrance to get back into the entrance there. And, oh man, we are gonna die. We are. Okay, are we gonna live? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and try it. Yeah, I think we survived this. So, there you have it, everyone. There is the Redstone dungeon completed. This is the end of our video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know down in the comments section, and I'll go ahead and try and make more videos because I really enjoyed doing this. This was a little bit different, and yeah, I had a lot of fun doing it. So with that said, this is the end of our video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. This has been Rogue Fox, and I'm out. I'll see you later.